Welcome everyone. Hi. So this is the first Code Week information session for new teachers happening for the past years, I suppose. So we are really thrilled to start with this nice initiative to get to know more teachers, to introduce you a bit further to our Code Week initiative, what we are doing. It was one initiative coming from our ambassadors, and we are really glad that they had this idea about this session. And first and foremost, this is about the community. That's why community members, Code Week community members, are going to present their experience, share what they are doing, share their thoughts and ideas on how you can be part of this initiative. And that's why this session is really important to us as well. My name is Irini, and I'm part of EU Code Week team. I'm working for European SchoolNet, so we have the responsibility coordinating together with the Commission and another organization, Code Week for you. And without our community, this wouldn't be possible. So that's why we want you to learn more about this in case you want to be active members of our Code Week community in the future. And together with me, there is Ariana. She's also part of the EUCode community. Ariana, would you like to say a word?
Hello, everyone. It's really fantastic to be a member of this inspiring community of educators from Europe and beyond. It's really a pleasure to be here.
Perfect, thank you. And I won't be able, unfortunately, to be part of the whole event, but let's share with you a few words on Code Week before starting. Our agenda for today, as I said to you, our community members, I'm going to introduce you more of this, and also Ariana will guide you through the Code Week challenges by the end of the meeting. So overall, we'll have an idea what is happening, what a teacher is doing through Code Week, and you will get through, so for example, what Portugal is doing for Code Week, what is happening at national level in countries, and how you can also collaborate with other countries, because the important thing of Code Week is not a national initiative. It's not something that you can share with your colleagues at national level. This is an international community where you can learn from each other, inspire each other, and understand what education means for all of us across European member states and Western Balkan as well, but even foremost to that. So that's why it's really important to have this this diverse community together with us. So Ariana, next slide, please. So connect with Code Week. Here you can find the Code Week channels on social media, our website, which I will say a few words in a few minutes. We have a Twitter, we have Facebook, we have also an Instagram, and we're really active. We are sharing resources, blog posts, podcasts, all of our materials through our website, even interviews and inspiring teacher stories that you can learn more about what is happening and what a teacher can do. So please go ahead, share also really great educational materials such as our massive open online courses that we work on these two. So please go ahead, follow us and learn more about what we are doing on a daily basis. Ariana? Great. So I will share a few words of what is Code Week really briefly. I don't know if Annie would like to share her view a bit more after me, but I will just share with you that the EU Code Week is a grassroots initiative which aims to bring coding and digital literacy to everybody, to every student in a fun and engaging way. We know nowadays how important it is to share and give digital skills to our students because it's important for the future careers, for the future goal. One of the basic goal for our European Commission for this year is to embrace all European citizens with digital skills. So we are doing this for 10 years now. So Code Week took place first time in 2013. So last year in 2022, we had our 10th anniversary. So, and we started with 10,000 participants, and until now we have more like 77 events registered to our Code Week map. So you will learn more I hope you can hear me. You will learn more about the Code Week map and what means for you in a moment. So just to let you know that this is not something happening today. This is something that is here with you and support teachers to learn how to bring coding and any type of informatic activities into the classroom in every subject, from kindergarten to secondary school, and apply coding activities with technology items or not. So we have really a great tools to share with you through our website. And please note that we wouldn't be in the moment that we are without our community. We are community members, are the ambassadors, our leading teachers, and our Code Week edu coordinators, which are representatives for the ministries at national level from European together and collaborating to bring computational thinking closer to the classroom and learn how to teachers how they can do it in the easiest way without really being ICT teachers or any kind of to have any specialization in ICT. And please note that it's super important to share that also teachers train each other. So we share these skills with teachers, and then they can be multipliers and share all these great activities that we are doing at national level, at local level, with the school community, etc., which is amazing. So that's a few words that I would like to share. Before closing, I would like to share a few words on the website. Ariana, would you like to share the next slides? Okay, so our Code Week website, this is what you see. It's codeweek.eu. You can visit us. And I want to share just a few comments on the website. First of all, the website is fully accessible. It's translated in all the European languages and more. It's translated since last year or 2 years ago in Ukrainian language as well. So it's fully accessible for you all to dive in, click, learn in your local language. You don't need to be experts at English to be part of the community. That's really important thing to know and to keep in your mind that this website can be, and you can click to the community and find out the community members at your country, your ambassadors and leading teachers, and see how you can be part of the national community in the beginning, and then to learn more about the international members of Code Week as well. That's what I wanted to share with you for now, just to give you an insight to that. Before passing the floor to Alessandro, I don't know if Annie would like to share with us a few words on in general Code Week.
Yes, I can do that. Also, you said a lot about it also, but I think let's see, because I need to skip a little. Let me just take the last part where I think I tried to look into. You talked about Code Week as.
Irini, sorry, I think that you should, mute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we talked about the EU Code Week being a grassroots initiative and how important it is that it's a community, and it has grown so quickly for the 10 years it has been there. So I also looked into the EU Code Week connected to the European Digital Action Plan, the DAP. And it's so well connected to the Digital Education Action Plan from the European Union. I think as it strives to enhance the digital skills and competences for citizens, and it's not just for schools. The EU Code Week, it's for libraries and organizations working with adults and kids, and sharing and using each other's lesson plans and ideas, and also finding each other to work together with. So the Digital Education Action Plan recognizes this, the importance of exactly what all of you are doing here by promoting coding, programming in education, so that we can equip our individuals, anyone with this, for the necessary skills for a digital age, which we are in now. And we have to work with this together with the students as well, I want to add, because they have a lot to contribute with as well in this. Thank you for me.
Thank you so much, Annie. Thank you for sharing this. And we can now pass on to Alessandro, which is our ambassador from Italy, and can share with you the role of teachers in school in Code Week.
So I'm very happy to, thank you, Irini. So I'm very happy to speak about the role of teachers and schools in Code Week, because this is a key role and very, very important role that has been highly pushed and appreciated and understood from the very beginning, but the importance has emerged even more year after year. So as you know, and has been said, Code Week is a grassroots initiative, and so it is highly supported by the Code Week team, as we see and we appreciate and we witness every day and every edition. It is very important to preserve the grassroots initiative in the sense that Code Week is led by volunteers and is not just so institutional as an initiative. And this means that volunteers are nothing but Code Week ambassadors having the role of trying to bring to their own countries the overall initiative that is then actually implemented mainly by teachers. What I'm saying is that what really makes Code Week work is the involvement of event organizers. So people who organize events providing opportunities to experience coding to new people, to involve new people. And coding events are nothing but coding activities. And that's why teachers are entitled to organize coding activities, mainly because they usually do so in their schools and they already have an audience. So Code Week started in 2013 and it kept expanding year after year. And what we observed is that the penetration of Code Week was very diverse in each country and even in each region within each country. And what we understood is that the penetration was higher where the involvement of teachers was higher. And that's why the team of Code Week and Code Week ambassadors decided to invest more in schools and in teachers and to make it apparent that teachers had to play a so important role for the success of Code Week. And there are many very important reasons for that. The first one is that each teacher has her own audience, who are the pupils and students, but also because teachers can freely decide to take part in Code Week. So this means that the involvement of teachers is completely coherent with the grassroots nature of the initiative. So once a teacher decides to organize an activity within Code Week and to add a pin to the map of Code Week, the teacher is really contributing as a volunteer, even if this activity is conducted during school hour, because there is a freedom of teacher to decide what to do during their school time, provided that it is coherent with what they have to teach to their pupils. And so this means that this act of volunteering for organizing an activity and in particular adding it to the map is something that is a real contribution to Code Week that is basically provided on a voluntary basis. Then there is also another reason, which is the democracy, if you want, and the inclusion and inclusiveness, in the sense that coding activities organized during school hours are probably the most worth activities because they are able to reach everybody, not just those pupils, those young girls and boys who are already aware of the importance of coding, because coding is for everybody, exactly like school. And that's why the role of school is so important. Then what happened since several years ago is that the leading teachers were engaged. And leading teachers are nothing but teachers who decided and volunteered to play another very important role, that is the role of providing support, motivation, and inspiration to their peers. And so in every country, very active people, very active teachers were basically asked to become leading teachers and to inspire other teachers. And this helped a lot expand the outreach of Code Week and also push the participation in countries that were not so active before the institution of leading teachers. And what Code Week also decided was to invest in teachers, not just asking teachers to do something for Code Week, but make sure that the participation of teachers to Code Week was an investment on their own personal careers and or also on their personal and professional development by organizing summer schools, MOOCs, opportunities of training, and also providing school kids and teaching materials, learning bits that can be used directly from the website and translated in all the European languages. I have to say something more about the involvement of teachers, and in particular, we observed in a scientific study on the participation of Code Week and the pattern of participation that there is a low retention. This means that even if Code Week has kept growing year after year, if we look at the people really taking part in Code Week and organizing events, we notice that every year there are a lot of new people and people participating in the previous years not necessarily keep participating in Code Week. This is physiological in the sense that Code Week is an icebreaker. The main purpose of Code Week is to bring coding in new areas, in new schools, and to new people. And then people keep playing with code and using code and experiencing coding even without taking part in Code Week. But I encourage all the teachers who took part in Code Week to keep adding their pins to the map, even if they don't feel to need it anymore, just because Code Week has already brought coding in their schools, because this is a way of motivating other people, of being inspirational by themselves. And this is, again, very, very important because the penetration of Code Week is the key performance indicator, and numbers and the size matters in the sense that if we are so many people, if we are a million of people as we are taking part in Code Week every year, this means that this becomes a news by itself, a piece of news. And speaking about coding and about the success of Code Week can reach out other people, even if they didn't took part in that edition of Code Week. So there is a kind of a domino effect that is beneficial, is like a positive feedback loop that we want to trigger by keeping participating in Code Week and making those numbers as large as possible. And finally, I'd like to mention the fact that taking part in Code Week is rewarding. It is rewarding because of the engagement of the natural engagement of pupils, of students, but also because there are many kind of recognitions that are that have been conceived to reward teachers and to recognize the importance of all activity organizers. Those are certificate of recognitions, the certificate of appreciation for the Code Week for All challenge. Those are the challenges that have been mentioned, and those are also the school labels that are awarded to schools who are particularly active in Code Week and that take advantage of Code Week to make a difference within their school, and also the super organizers, who are people who organize many, many events every year. So the participation in Code Week, even if leading teachers were enrolled, even if many kinds of certificates are awarded every year, and so many resources are targeting teachers in particular, and schools are so important. So the participation and the penetration of Code Week around our countries is still very diverse, and there is a huge variation from country to country and from region to region. But what we have verified is that Code Week is still very, very important, and that the penetration is higher where Code Week is more needed. This means that in less developed countries and where the gross income per capita is less, Code Week has a greater penetration. And this is another good news, because this means that Code Week is seen, perceived as a resource, as an opportunity. And this is exactly what Code Week was meant to be. So what I expect from this meeting is that teachers who have not been involved so far in Code Week have the opportunity of knowing more about Code Week and be more motivated to take part in it. And I encourage all of them, if they are present right now, to ask questions and take advantage of this meeting. And even if they will see the recording of this meeting later, please try to contact Code Week ambassadors and leading teachers to know more and to find the easiest and smoothest path our Code Week.
Thank you very much, Alessandro. Indeed, so this is also our next slide. You are all very welcome to write questions in the chat, or should you wish so, please feel free to turn on your microphone. But Alessandro, we already have a question or two in the chat. While you were talking about the leading teacher, I think this is when Studiani, I think I pronounced it well, wrote this question: who are the very active teachers? Could you please explain that? And just recently, when a teacher uses the challenges every year since 2014 with at least 100 students for more than 10 hours per year, is he or she an active enough teacher?
Okay, she is. Actually, what we mean by very active teacher has two meanings. The first one is an intuitive meaning that is absolutely compliant with the case that you exposed. The other meaning is the one that is based on thresholds that are required to just award certificates. In this, every year, there are specific rules that are declared and made public on the website in order to provide some kind of threshold and also some kind of objectives to try to pass in order to achieve this kind of award. So I'd like then Irini or the team to point out which are the thresholds for next edition, but please don't forget that being active is first of all, something that it's up to you, not only to decide to what extent to be active, but also to decide how to be proud of the activities that you conduct. And the main reward is the engagement of your pupils. Then there are also formal awards, and this kind of awards need some thresholds that in some cases can be even misleading, because you say, well, in my context, I was as active as possible, but still I didn't get this certificate. Okay, this is not big deal, because the main purpose is to play with coding together with your pupils.
Thank you, Alessandro. So, and apologies to Stiliani. I mispronounced your name, sorry. So Stiliani mentions, why don't I have a certificate? And I think you just responded to it.
I don't know your case in particular, but I assume that this is the case.
Yeah, so I will not stop being active because I love my job. Exactly. This is what you, Alessandro, also mentioned. Yeah. So it is really, really about sharing this enthusiasm with your students, of course, because you work with them in the classroom, but also with your colleagues.
It's a very good point. In fact, I didn't mention that one of the pattern that we observed for the expansion of Code Week, of the outreach of Code Week, is proximity. So this means that even the role of leading teachers risks to be misleading, even if we couldn't do anything different. In the sense, there are so many teachers who are not named leading teachers, who are in fact very active, very proactive, and able to provide support and inspiration to their peers, and willing to do networking. And networking is for sure another dimension, another key and very important action that make Code Week worth, because even those who practice coding even every day, there are teachers that I know who practice coding every day in their teaching activity. Nevertheless, they take part in Code Week and add activities to the map just because of the sense of belonging that adds something during Code Week, even to their pupils, who feel to be part of something bigger and are enthusiasts of doing something together with pupils of the same age that they probably don't know, but they are in other countries and feeling the same and working towards the same goal.
Indeed, yes, we are all part community, and it's great feeling this feeling of togetherness instead of being isolated in our classrooms. This is, I think, valid for teachers, but also for students, because teachers in this way open up a whole new world for their students and prepare them for the future. We have another comment actually here in the chat by Paula, who participated in Code Week in 2022. And an interesting experience that I will repeat, she says, and this is actually once you do an activity, then you always want to do another one and come back to the next edition. But as we say, Code Week is not only in October, every week is Code Week. Okay, I think so. Stiliani also says that she introduced our work to many of her colleagues. Yes. Okay, so if there are no questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Alessandro. Thank you, Annie. If there are no questions, maybe we can go on with the next presentation so that you can hear what our ambassadors are doing in other countries. In particular, we are going to hear from our ambassadors in Portugal, Switzerland, and France and Bulgaria. And then we will also have some more time for questions and answers. And Alessandro, you will stay with us also during that part. And if you have questions, please feel free to write in the chat, and we will come back to you. So I would now like to stop sharing my presentation and give the floor to Angelina. Angelina, can you please share your screen now? And in the meantime, I've seen that, well, excellent. We can already see your presentation. Perfect. Let me just check if we have a question by Luca. Luca, please feel free to write it in the chat. Angelina, are you ready? The floor is yours. We can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear Angelina? No. So maybe I can see that your mic is turned on, but maybe it would be a good idea just to turn it on and off once again, because we heard you at the beginning. Can you say something now? Yes, yes, okay. Or was that someone else? Let me check. Can you please turn off your microphone, those of you who are not presenting? There are 180 of us here in this meeting, so please turn off your microphone. Angelina, I think it would be a good idea that we hand over to Ellen from Switzerland, and then we try in the meantime with your microphone. Ellen, hello.
Hello. I will just share this one. Okay, I hope you can see we have one slide. Yeah. Okay, hello everyone. It's really exciting to be here. Thank you so much for everyone who helped co-organize this. We had the idea to do this after we heard from some other Code Week ambassadors at the meeting in Brussels in March, where some other Code Week ambassadors were talking about how they did outreach in their own countries. And several ambassadors at that meeting thought it would be fun to do an outreach event like that together and hopefully make more connections and help people meet each other. And hopefully all of us can have the same type of enthusiasm to try to get more people to participate in Code Week, and we can all share that together. So that's where it came from, and credit to the other ambassadors whose idea it initially was. Anyway, so we, a group of people, got together, and also with the Code Week team and Alessandro have organized this outreach. So I will just tell you a couple things about who I am. Also, I think we have with us my colleague, Brice Coppi, who is, I believe, here. So we have from Switzerland, I'm one of the several Code Week ambassadors for Switzerland. And we share that among ourselves, partly because of our language situation and also to share the duties. And we were taking over after the long work of somebody else who helped to build Code Week here. So being relatively new as an ambassador to Code Week, I am very excited to share with you my experience. So I'm the founder and director of a nonprofit, which is called Rights Tech Women, and we're based in Geneva, Switzerland. And what we do is organize tech trainings for girls and women, usually, because we're trying to get more girls and women into programming and eventually into tech jobs. So we were really excited to do Code Week with everyone and take the opportunity to bring attention to how we all need to try to support girls and women as people go into tech careers. So that's Rights Tech Women. And my colleague, Brice Coppi from CERN, he's representing CERN Micro Club. And Brice, I'm not sure if you're here, if you want to unmute. But anyway, I will share with you. Yes, okay.
No, here, but I didn't want to interrupt. So.
Oh, no, thank you so much. I couldn't see you because there are so many people here. Brice, do you want to share about the Micro Club?
Yeah, when I think we started being interested in Code Week in as early as 2015, and we organized activities at CERN, and then we got in touch with Rights Tech, and now we participate in organizing that. Really happy with the material, with the being able to advertise events and coordinate the activity for Switzerland.
Thank you, Brice. Brice is, as he mentioned, working at CERN. So with Brice together, what we've been doing is organizing training activities, mostly in the Geneva area. We do those in English and in French, both, typically. So we have given trainings on a few different things. Some examples that you see listed in the slide are some trainings that have been focusing on robotics, programming, and human rights. We bring those topics together, and we like to give not only some tech training, but also some human rights training to talk about how it's now everybody has the right to learn these skills as part of your right to education. And we want everyone to really adopt that approach as taking a human rights approach to being able to learn these skills. Why? Because it's so important for people in the work, in jobs nowadays. Everyone really needs these tech skills. So it's really important that people learn these skills and that everybody sees technology as something for them, not just something for everybody else or a different group of people. So we've really enjoyed doing trainings together with Copy Station on robotics, as I mentioned, which is super fun. And we've also done together with CERN Women in Technology. We did a Django Girls training, and that was very exciting as well. And most recently, we did a training that was about how you can use satellite data to understand climate change. And that was a training that we did using Google Earth Engine, which anybody can sign up for an account. And it's very exciting because you can use their online coding platform and access all this satellite data that is made available by the European Space Agency, by NASA, and Google makes it available for free. And people can access all of this data, all these images of Earth observation satellite imagery. You can access that data and query it and basically try to find out, are we losing trees in my area? What's happening where I live? I've heard so much about climate change, but how can we use this data to look at what is really happening and how the climate, how the planet is changing. So that's been really exciting. And yeah, those are some of the trainings that we've been doing. We will for sure do more trainings this year. And also this year, we're trying to reach out and try to help more teachers from Switzerland join into the fun of Code Week. Even if Switzerland is not in the EU, but it is a friendly neighbor, and we're all about trying to just make more friendly links between countries and between people who are really enthusiastic about coding. So that is about it, unless Brice, if you want to add anything else.
It's all there.
Okay, it's all there. So with that, then I turn it back over to you, Ariana.
Thanks so much, Ellen and Brice. It's really, really great to hear what you are doing in Switzerland. This is such a wealth of opportunities for teachers. Thank you for providing them with all these opportunities. And I would now, if you don't mind, give the floor over to Loran and Evgeny, ambassadors from France and Bulgaria. And then we will have time for questions. So if you have questions for Ellen, please do write them in the chat, or you can take the mic later on. And then, Angelina, I will be back to you. Hopefully it will work. Okay, I will give the floor over now to Evgeny and Loran. Please feel free to share your screen.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm sorry, my computer walked.
Yes, we can hear you very well, and we can also see the screen.
Okay, great. Sorry for this delay.
Yes,
so
no problem at all. Thank you.
Me and Loran are here to talk to you about something very exciting, because it's great that teachers are engaging in Code Week, and it's great that people work, but Code Week is also European. So you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be a solitary work. You don't have to be by yourself. You don't have to just work in your region, in your city or town, and even if you are from a village, you can find some great friends with whom you can work all across Europe. And that's one of the things that I think makes Europe Code Week so amazing and so exceptional. So me and Loran will share a little bit about this aspect of Code Week, the cross-border collaborations and activities. Those activities exist in Code Week since its beginning, but we haven't seen that much activities of this type. And if you do such kind of activity, there's a way for it to be recognized on the Code Week website, and you will receive a certificate of excellence. So that's also another motivator why it's so good to do it. So what are cross-country activities? It's self-explanatory. It's an activity that you don't do by yourself, but you find a partner from across Europe, another teacher, another organization, can be anything, and you do something together and you form a partnership. And for teachers in particular, I think it will be great that they have shared activities with class from another European country. Me and Loran, I'm ambassador from Bulgaria, he's ambassador for France. So we have a particular initiative within the Code Week collaborations, cross-border activities, and that is Francophone Code Week activities. So we'll talk a little bit more about this now, but of course, there are many ways. You don't have to speak French to engage with them. You can do it in English, you can do it in any language. We hope that in the future it will be other initiatives that maybe will be in German or Italian or other languages. So you don't have to be constrained. If you speak French, it's great. Even if you don't, you can still join a partner from France. It's not something that should stop you. It's just that we will talk a little bit more about Francophone activities in this presentation, just to give you an example of things that could be done between partners. So one of the questions is, how do you find partners? I guess many of you would wonder. In the case of Code Week Francophone activities, we're trying to establish more connections between Francophone teachers and event organizers across Europe. So for this reason, we have created a second alternative, but not really. It's just an informal Facebook teachers and Code Week activities organizers group that you can join. The link will be shared to you, so you can find it. It will be in French, but I guess if you're interested in joining a partner from France, you can join even if you don't speak French, and somebody will probably speak English and join you. But it's predominantly about French speakers, and the content there will be mostly in French. We also have our great ambassador from France, Laurent, who has shared some of his channels, which you can follow to see what's going on and to be updated. And here I'll actually give the floor to Laurent to share a little bit of what's going on with the Francophone scene of coding activities.
Okay, thanks, Penny. And I would talk about this initiative of in France about Scratch. It's a new group of French teachers who want to share their experiment with the Scratch. So you can go to this atelier tomorrow. It's very open groups, and you can go. I send you on the conversation or the link about the resources, and it's the first Scratch Up meetup. So it's teachers of math, I think, who want to share their experiences, and they want to do poetry with Scratch. So you have the QR code, so you can scan the QR code, and you have another resources on the next slide. One more.
Yeah. Okay, just let's mention that resources are really important. So Laurent will also share how we can find Francophone resources for such kind of activities.
So this resources is a website of the academy where I work. We can share a lot of challenges. I try to share my my screen. If it's possible, it's okay. Can you see it?
I think it works.
Not yet, yes, but we are getting there.
Okay, or not?
I can't see it yet.
Okay, so
I could see it.
Okay.
Robocop Junior.
It's okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
you have the website, it's in French, but with a plugin, you can translate easily if it's in Ukrainian, so, for example, or you can choose your language. I stay in French. You have different parts, and one of them is to begin with robots. So you have a description of the robots. You have a description of what you can do with these robots, and you can how it's very new. You can see what the people in France or in the academy have done with a game, video game, and you can right now share an experiences with us, because it's a challenge. We have a lot of challenge. We can choose our resources. I take here, for example, Timio, and I have a lot of challenges, little challenges with Timio. And with that, it's very easy to do, and we can write together challenges and share on this website. Here we can participate to a challenge. Here the Code Week and the other what we do in our academy, and we have especially one of them about with pixel art, it's with PixArt, robots, and Scratch. So we have a lot of possibility to share. So you have a little challenge, and it explains you what we can do. And it's okay. I come back about. Stop my share, and we can see the other resources.
Yeah, I'll try to share again. I hope it doesn't work.
Okay.
Is it working?
It's okay.
Okay. So there are also some European programs that can be used in creating Code Week shared cross-border collaborations. So one of them that we would like to bring your attention to, especially for teachers, is eTwinning. I think that eTwinning is especially suitable for doing Code Week activities that last more than 1 week, because Code Week doesn't last just 1 week. Now it's an all-year activity, all-year action that you can pin your activity throughout the year. And it doesn't have to be a single event. It can be multiple events that happen throughout the year. So how to use eTwinning? You can contact an eTwinning ambassador, or if you need some assistance, you can find a partner and develop a project, and you can use the resource of eTwinning. And here I give again the floor to Laurent to share his experience about it.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so I share my my screen. Oh. So it's coming. Okay, this part we can speak about eTwinning. So I think that a lot of us know what is the eTwinning. It's a lettering project who is developed in my academy, and it's the most of the most best website to share for teachers. But it's a lot of it's a little bit difficult to use it at the first time. This is why we present us the 3 resources. At first, the website, the Scratch meetup, and for the Scratch meetup, you don't see my my screen. No.
Oh, we can see your screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have this eTwinning request. It's you have an opportunity to do a challenge, and another classroom share with you the trip of the Bebot you can see on the image here. So this is the most beautiful way to exchange, but it's a little bit difficult for people who don't know what the eTwinning website is. The easier is to use for us the website of the Academy, and you have the possibility to exchange with this group of teachers with Scratch. Okay, so it's for us the opportunity to develop the exchange between different countries. All countries, France and Bulgaria, but it could be between Bulgaria and Romania, it could be France and Poland, and so. So I hope that you will write us to exchange for a next challenge.
Yes, and especially if you speak French, you can contact us. We can provide you with some resources, especially Laurent and our growing French-speaking Code Week community. If you don't, that shouldn't stop you, and we hope we have inspired you to look for partners and don't do the EU Code Week experience alone. Do it with somebody and learn together and grow together. is our message. So thank you very much. And now back to the Code Week team.
Thank you both. Thank you, Evgeny and Laurent, for sharing your ideas. Angelina, please give it another try. Please share the screen. Let's try this. Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, great.
Excellent. Let me share.
Perfect. The floor
Yes.
is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I will present some activities that happened last year in Portugal. So I will start here with this presentation where you can see total of activities 598. Between these activities, schools that took that were on the top, it's Alfredo Gide School and a group of schools, 4 de Outubro, which one with 75 and 78 activities. Audience, we can see here clearly that our primary audience is early primary schools with 479 activities, but there are also pre-primary with 96, secondary 84, and also we have a higher education, postgraduate, employed adults and employed adults, teachers and other audience. Some examples of activities. I can here show you that it's related with Minecraft, Timecraft, live lesson in association with English teacher. It's very frequent that activity can be done with association between not only with between 2 or 3 teachers, different subjects. Another activity, I have a dream, a piece where you can we can see that students who participated in the Edwinian project I Have a Dream because of the war in Ukraine created poems dedicated to peace. Also, where are the healthy food? Here introduction to programming with Bbot. About healthy food. Some activities that are done at programming on Open Roberto Lab. Many activities, many teachers using coding activities from code.org and Scratch. Of course, Scratch, it's used by many teachers. Some examples are introducing myself using Scratch, creating solar system, animation with explaining subject or some definitions, discovering sea, creating games, sketching strawberries. It's another games. Also, coding activities with Lego. We do 2.0, Bubble, Cody, Robbie, Ozobot Dog, different robots. A lot of activities with robots. Also here you can see with creating crucigrams and true or false questionnaire on word wall. Unplugged activities. As our public mainly primary school and preschool also, there were activities like Codicolor, characters from story code, coding with pixel art, coloring by numbers. One of the activities very used between the teachers. For example, let's save the planet, but not only, there are many another. Mathematics for everyone. Then another activities is that our teacher were promoting between the students. And I think it's all from me.
Thanks a lot, Angelina. That was really great. Thank you for sharing all these fantastic opportunities and activities that you do in Portugal. Sorry, I've been muted. I just wanted to thank you, Angelina, for all the activities that you have been conducting in Portugal, and also many thanks to all our presenters. I would now open the floor for you. So if you have questions for our speakers, please write them in the chat or turn on your microphone. And also, I would say that some of our participants tonight shared their projects either on eTwinning or on the Padlet or on a website. So Luca Stiliani and everybody else who shared their projects, you are very welcome, and we thank you for that. I would also just like to mention that there is also a featured group Coding at School on eTwinning, so please make sure to check it out. But Luca, you raise your hand, so please feel free to ask our speakers. We can't hear you. You are muted.
Yes. It's me. It's actually not Luca. This is my co-worker. I'm Gordana from Slovenia, Slovenian ambassador. Yes, and I didn't notice that I logged in my where I work, in my teams from my work. So it's not Luca. I'm Gordana, Slovenian ambassador, and I also have a quick presentation of most frequently used platforms in Slovenia. So if I can have 5 minutes, I will present you. So once again, I'm Gordana, and hello from my side. In the next minutes, I will introduce you to open source platforms for learning programming in the chat. Now I will send you links.
Gordana, you are muted now again. We can't hear you.
Okay. In the chat, I sent you the most frequently used open source platforms in Slovenia. They're mostly intended for learning Blockly programming language, which can be a great basis for learning other programming languages. The Block programming language is visually appealing, so even younger children can easily master it. Most of the websites in the chat require nothing more than computer and internet connection to use, with the exception of Microbit, which requires a Microbit microcontroller, so I will pay more attention here. I also have a microcontroller with me, you can see it. And first I will quickly introduce you the hardware, the microcontroller, which can be thought also as a mini computer. In the middle, you can see 25 LED lights that also serve as a screen. Below, you can see pin inputs that are used to connect various components. From the back, Microbit looks like some kind of chip on which we can find compass. It's here. Accelerometer, processor, Bluetooth and radio antenna, and a reset button, input for the battery case, and input for the USB cable here, through which also we load the code. Now I will share with you my desktop, and I will also introduce you the Microbit programming software. Just a second. So this kind of activity is most frequently used in our country for Code Week activities. Just a second. Well, I cannot find.
The sharing button is on top, in the top right corner.
Yes, but
and just click screen.
Yes, but
it is, yes, we can see it now, or it we
okay.
we can see it now. Or
Do you see my
Yes.
sorry, do you see my desktop?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, perfect. So you can see now the software for the microcontrollers, and the site is very transparent and useful for both students and teachers. We can program in 3 program languages, JavaScript, Python, and of course the Blockly programming language. And if we want to program in the Blockly programming language, we have to take the following steps. So first, let's code. And here you can see the Python editor and make code editor for Blockly programming language. And we click make code editor. And here you will see many projects appear on the desktop, which are managed in the form of tutorials. So you have here a lot of tutorials. And in addition to the steps to implement the project, you can also find the detailed descriptions with didactic approaches and methodology for teachers on the website. And now I will program a simple project with you, DICE for board game. So I have to click new project and name it. Let's name G7. Okay. And you will see on the left side a simulator. Which is you have a set of commands by category, and on the right side you have a space where you can compile the code. So if I want to do a dice for board game, I have to click first just a second on shake. No shake. I will delete this too. So I have to click on shake because even in the real dice is always rolled in the board games. So on shake command works with the help of accelerometer that measure vibration or acceleration. The next step I will have to add is show number. And the next I will have to add pick random and enter the numbers 1 and 6. 1 and 6. And here you don't forget to choose the right minimum and maximum values for the dice. And here you can use the simulator to try out your code. You click here and you can see the random number like a real dice. And that's the quick project I will download on my microcontroller. I press downloading, okay. And the result on microcontroller must be the same as on simulator, as you can see. So if I shake my microcontroller, the random number from 1 to 6 will appear on my microcontroller. So that's the quick presentation of most frequently used activity in Slovenia. So microcontrollers are the most frequently used in this year. So that's all. Just a second.
Thank you very much. There are a lot of comments in the chat. As you can see, our participants would like to connect with you and maybe launch a project together. This is why we are here, so that we can meet each other, inspire each other, and start new projects, introduce coding and computational thinking to our students. Thank you so much, Gordana. Maybe also related to this, one question from the chat. Alessandro or Ellen, I don't know who responded, or someone else, but it is about languages for CodeWeek activities, and also how can our participants meet other colleagues to collaborate on CodeWeek activities. Alessandro, Gordana, Ellen, Evgeny, please feel free to answer.
Okay, I can say something about why they need other colleagues to cooperate. So cooperation among teachers is very important for many reasons. One possible dimension is the international dimension and the cross-country cooperation that was mentioned several times during the presentations of CodeWeek ambassadors. So this is meant to stimulate the teachers to organize themselves in order to take advantage of CodeWeek to establish links with other colleagues in other countries. eTwinning is for sure a very appropriate platform for doing so. So we also encourage a teacher to join eTwinning if they are not there. I'd like also to mention that Stefania Altieri is managing a featured group within eTwinning that is called, if I remember right, Coding at School. And this is one of the instruments to promote CodeWeek within eTwinning. So this is a very important link between the eTwinning community and CodeWeek. And the other reason is because CodeWeek, as I mentioned, is something that is worth even for those who already do coding in their classrooms in order to expand the activities and involve other people. And in particular, the reason why we encourage with the CodeWeek for All challenge, for instance, to establish at least 3 links with other countries, or at least links with other 10 event organizers in your country, is just to set a kind of a threshold to push very active teachers to involve other teachers. So ending up expanding the outreach of CodeWeek and possibly involving new pupils and providing more opportunities for playing with code.
Thank you, Alessandro. Ellen, Gordon, Evgeny, yes, please.
I could add to that, if I may.
Yes.
Okay, I would just like to add to what was said before, that also there's a public Facebook group for teachers, and I can put that in the chat here. So that might also be an interesting way to, I think somebody has mentioned this, but you can also feel free to join, and it looks like there are more than 32,000 members in there right now, so it's a huge group, and hopefully in there you could also find somebody to collaborate with. So back to you.
Yes, so CodeWeek is a multi-language initiative. So we have our website translated in all the European languages. So the language should not be a barrier. It should be an opportunity for you to connect with other countries. So use the languages that you know and don't be just restrained to English. That is the idea of involving more languages, because CodeWeek is multi-language initiative. And then if you happen to speak French, then you can join our initiative, but otherwise you can still connect with others, even though it might be a little bit more tricky at this point. But in the future, it might be that there are other communities that form around languages that facilitate this communication, so that people who don't speak English but speak other languages can connect with people from those countries. And even if you don't speak another international language and you don't feel very good with English, you can still find partners that speak your own language in other countries and still make a collaboration with them. So it's up to you to find your right partner. And as it was mentioned, we have many event organizers and teachers, so surely you will. The important thing is that you don't just feel that you have to do this all by yourself in your place. I think it's more fun to do it with a partnership, and that's what I encourage you to do. But feel free to do it in your own unique way. And thank you.
Thank you, Evgeny. And Gordana?
Yes, I don't have nothing more to add. I'm willing to collaborate with anyone who wants, and I can share my experiences with Microbit and other platforms. So I'm here if you want to collaborate with me or with my colleagues from Slovenia. So that's all.
Thank you, Gordana. Thank you all. Yes, please feel free to post questions in the chat if you have them. We are still here for another 10 or more minutes. But let me just briefly tell you more about the Code Week challenges that we introduced in 2021. These are just some of the resources that you can use to introduce coding to your students. At the beginning of this webinar, Irini mentioned and shared with you a screenshot of the website, and you can see, I'm sure you saw that there are a lot of resources that you can use. So one of these resources are challenges. They were designed by EU Code Week Ambassador, Central Team, and some partners. These are actually very short activities that you can do as such in your classroom, and they include concrete examples and guidelines. So you can just follow the instructions and do this activity with your students, or they are also easily adaptable. So you can suit all these challenges to suit different teaching contexts. So we launched these set of challenges in 2021, and it was actually a bingo game. We asked all the members of the Code Week community to give it a go at not only one challenge, but more challenges. And so it was kind of a bingo that they needed to complete with their students, or maybe not only with students, but also at home with their friends and family. And all these challenges have the same structure. They give a basic, some kind of basic information about the audience. Who is this challenge for? What type of experience is needed, how long it would take you to do this challenge in the classroom, what is the purpose of it, and some recommended materials that we proposed, usually free tools or technologies or materials that you can easily, so that you can easily use it in your classroom. And then this basic info was followed by a detailed description, instructions, and an example that would help you do this activity in the classroom. And right now we are preparing the second set of Code Week challenges for this year, 2023. So stay tuned, check out this page on our website. And if you haven't tried the existing ones, please do so. But also we kindly invite you to try out all the other resources that we have prepared for you together with our ambassadors, leading teachers and partners on the EU Code Week website. So if you have other questions, please feel free to do so now. I haven't seen anything, any new question posted in the chat, except we have here about the platform, but it is not the CodeWeek platform. It is the eTwinning platform, I think, that you are referring to. But yes, indeed, please feel free to continue bringing CodeWeek and coding events to eTwinning project. The challenges are ready, lesson plans, yes, they are short activities. In fact, you can make them shorter or longer as it suits you best, but these are just some ideas that would help you bring coding to the classroom. Okay, and I think we can now go on to the next question that we have covered already in this webinar. So how to participate in CodeWeek? So we have here some ideas how to start. We would say find your country ambassadors on the community pages of CodeWeek. Begin with CodeWeek learning bits or challenges. Learning bits are also a very detailed resources or lesson plans that can help you start with coding. Organize a lesson, a training session, an open day, or in other words, organize an activity, register your activity on the CodeWeek map, and also sign up for the CodeWeek newsletter so that you can stay updated, but also inspired. So that would briefly be how to start participating. What about you, Alessandro? What would you say? What would you add to it? And what would you recommend to 180 participants of this webinar tonight?
Well, what I recommend is to keep in touch, to take advantage of what is on the website of all the resources and to link to the community and to the local communities. In particular, you can find on the website the contacts of ambassadors and leading teachers who are the first touch points, and a lot of resources. And in case you are already convinced, please convince other people and become by yourself leading teachers de facto. So I really hope that thanks to your involvement, the outreach of CodeWeek can really be expanded and new opportunities of playing with code can be brought to more people and more pupils. So thank you very much for your attention and for participating in this meeting that is very promising for the next edition of CodeWeek.
Thank you, Alessandro. Gordana, what would you like to say now at the end of this webinar, how to participate in CodeWeek, how to encourage participation? Please unmute your microphone.
Yes, you can participate on the different with the different aspects. You can write ambassador, and you can you can connect with different schools in your country or with different schools from other countries. There are a lot of ways to participate in CodeWeek, and also you can participate in CodeWeek Programming Week in October.
Thank you, Gordana. Ellen?
Sure. I would like to add, especially for anyone else watching this later, you for sure don't have to have a lot of experience. So just to emphasize that anyone can organize an activity, and there are a lot of resources on the CodeWeek website that are really easy for anyone to use and of any level of programming experience. So that's a nice thing about CodeWeek. It's very inclusive and really open to having teachers who have never done any coding before, but they're interested, or maybe you don't even teach IT or programming, but you teach another subject like a language or history or something, but you're interested. So it's absolutely open to any teacher of any subject to organize those activities. And we really encourage you to do that. Hope you'll join us.
Thank you, Ellen. And Evgeny?
Yes, my advice is just join the Facebook official group of Code Week and find somebody who you can work with. And if you speak French, join the French channel. It's the same, it's just in French. And you'll find your way afterwards.
Thank you, Alessandro, Ellen, Gordana, and thank you to all the participants of tonight's webinar. It's been a huge pleasure to see how many of you joined us tonight. And we will be here for you. Please don't hesitate to contact us. And let's launch some amazing coding activities in our classrooms all over Europe and beyond. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining. Goodbye. Have a nice evening. So many people are here.